For decades, Canadians viewed trips to the United States as a regular part of life, a cherished ritual woven into the fabric of many families' routines. Crossing the border wasn't just about shopping, it was an experience, a small adventure that brought excitement and anticipation. From Vancouver on the west coast to bustling cities in southern Ontario, families would plan frequent shopping excursions, often turning them into day trips or weekend getaways. These outings became a way to bond, to explore, and to enjoy the thrill of discovering new products and deals. Over time, this tradition grew into a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just about saving money, though the promise of better prices and sales was a big draw. It was also about access to a wider variety of goods, from the latest electronics to unique fashion brands that weren't always available back home. American retailers like Target, Macy's, and countless outlet stores became familiar destinations. Canadians would often plan their trips around long weekends or holidays, mapping out which stores to visit and which deals to chase. The journey itself was part of the fun. Families would pile into cars, pack snacks, and enjoy the open road, turning the drive into a mini vacation. The anticipation of bargains and the joy of the road trip made the experience memorable. U.S. border towns flourished thanks to this steady stream of Canadian shoppers. Malls like Walden Galleria would be packed on weekends, their parking lots filled with cars bearing Canadian license plates, a testament to the cross-border connection. Businesses responded by hiring extra staff, extending store hours, and even accepting Canadian currency. This created a powerful economic engine that benefited both sides of the border, fueling local economies and supporting jobs. The relationship between Canadian shoppers and American retailers became so ingrained that it was often taken for granted. It symbolized trust, mutual prosperity, and a unique bond between neighbors. Canadians felt welcomed and valued, participating in a larger North American marketplace where borders seemed to blur, if only for a day. For many, this tradition felt stable and permanent, a bedrock of economic friendship and cross-border cooperation that would last for generations. Yet, few could have predicted the dramatic shift that was about to unfold, changing the landscape of cross-border shopping forever. The first cracks in this friendship appeared in the late 2010s, as American political rhetoric strained the relationship. Canadians, once seeing the U.S. as an ally, felt uneasy with the negative tone. Political tensions escalated into policy disputes, with NAFTA renegotiations causing anxiety. Canadians felt targeted, sparking national pride and defensiveness. This climate impacted spending south of the border, as supporting a seemingly hostile economy felt wrong. A subtle movement emerged, driven by personal choices rather than formal campaigns. The friendly shopping trip lost its appeal, tinged with political conflict. Shopping at home became a statement of national identity. Tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum led to retaliatory tariffs on American goods, affecting Canadian shoppers. The price advantage of U.S. shopping evaporated, with new taxes making items more expensive. Shoppers faced a complicated math problem, calculating exchange rates and potential duties. The thrill of bargains was replaced by anxiety over surprise bills. Tariffs created uncertainty, deterring cross-border trips. Many Canadians chose local shopping for convenience and price certainty. The tariffs reinforced emotional barriers, aligning economic self-interest with national sentiment. Supporting local businesses became financially prudent. The shift in consumer behavior was solidified, with practical reasons for staying home. Tariffs intended for trade negotiation rewired shopping habits. The impact of this shift was visible at the border and in retail landscapes. American border towns saw a decline in Canadian shoppers, with empty parking lots and reduced foot traffic. Store owners noticed a sharp drop in sales, cutting staff hours and inventory. The absence of Canadian shoppers threatened livelihoods and economic stability. Meanwhile, Canadian cities experienced a retail boom, with local malls bustling. Domestic spending boosted the Canadian retail sector, facing e-commerce challenges. Canadian business owners welcomed the Renaissance, seeing more local customers. The Shop Local movement reinvigorated main streets, driven by political frustration and economic practicality. While American businesses struggled, Canadian retailers celebrated a resurgence. Official data soon confirmed what many had already noticed: there was a sharp and undeniable drop in cross-border shopping activity. For years, Canadians had flocked to American malls and stores, drawn by lower prices and a wider selection. But now, the parking lots that once bustled with Canadian license plates were noticeably emptier. According to Statistics Canada, there was a significant and sustained decline in same-day car trips from Canada to the U.S., a trend that began in 2017 and only deepened in the following years. The numbers told a clear story: fewer Canadians were making the trip south. This downturn wasn't just a matter of empty parking spaces, it translated into a massive financial loss for the U.S. economy, especially in border towns that had long relied on Canadian shoppers for their survival. Economists estimated that billions of dollars were withheld from the U.S. economy each year. The impact was felt across a range of sectors. Retail goods, gasoline sales, fast food, and even local motels all saw sharp declines in revenue. The loss of Canadian business forced many stores to close their doors for good, leading to layoffs and job losses throughout U.S. border states. Once thriving shopping centers became dotted with for-lease signs and empty storefronts. In response, American businesses launched aggressive campaigns to lure Canadians back, offering deep discounts, special promotions, and even putting up "Welcome Canadians" signs in their windows. They hoped to rekindle the cross-border shopping tradition. However, these efforts met with only limited success. For many Canadians, the boycott had become about more than just prices. It was a matter of national pride and solidarity, making them less likely to return, despite the incentives. The financial fallout from this shift highlighted just how deeply intertwined the Canadian and American economies truly are. Businesses on both sides of the border felt the ripple effects, underscoring the importance of cooperation and mutual respect. Ultimately, the loss of billions served as a painful lesson in the real-world consequences of political tensions, reminding both nations of the value and fragility of their economic partnership. Billions redirected into the Canadian economy sparked a renaissance for local businesses. Canadian retailers, from boutiques to national chains, reported increased sales and optimism. The silent boycott became a powerful Buy Canadian campaign, driven by consumer decisions. Retailers improved customer experiences, expanded product lines, and enhanced marketing. Canadian Tire and Loblaws saw upticks, benefiting smaller shops too. The movement supported Canadian producers with demand for made-in-Canada goods. Retaliatory tariffs made Canadian alternatives more competitive, sustaining jobs. Economic patriotism strengthened community ties with more local shopping. Farmers' markets and artisans found wider audiences, fostering community pride. The decision to shop at home evolved into a celebration of Canadian identity. As we find ourselves in the middle of 2025, a pressing question looms large. Is this new reality of reduced cross-border shopping here to stay, or is it just a temporary phase? While political tensions between the two nations have eased significantly, the memory of past disputes still lingers in the minds of many. These memories have left a lasting impact, with shopping habits now deeply ingrained in the Canadian psyche. In response, Canadian retailers have stepped up their game, adapting to the changing landscape by offering not only competitive products, but also unique shopping experiences that cater to local tastes and preferences. The rise of global e-commerce has provided Canadians with a plethora of alternatives, making the once appealing cross-border shopping trips less enticing. With just a few clicks, they can access international products from the comfort of their homes. While some level of cross-border shopping will inevitably return, the days of massive weekend exoduses are likely a thing of the past. The convenience and variety offered at home have set a new standard. Canadians have come to appreciate the benefits of shopping locally, from supporting their economy to enjoying the convenience of nearby stores. This shift has created a new baseline for consumer behavior. The silent boycott of cross-border shopping marked the end of an era, driven by a mix of political sentiment and a renewed sense of national identity. Canadians are proud to support their own. Although the Canada-US relationship remains close and friendly, Canadians are now more aware of their economic power and the impact of their choices. The new normal is a balanced one, where cross-border shopping becomes a deliberate choice rather than a necessity, reflecting a more thoughtful approach to consumerism. The era of taking Canadian shoppers for granted is over. Both sides of the border are adapting to these lasting changes, which have reshaped the retail landscape for good.